And we start this newscast with some breaking news coming in as fresh trouble for absconding Indian businessman Mehul Choksi has been brewing up. Antigua to revoke Mehul Choksi's citizenship. Antigua Prime Minister says Choksi will be repatriated to India. Now that is some big news coming in as the Antiguan Prime Minister has announced Mehul Choksi will be repatriated to India. Remember, the Indian businessman has been absconding for long. Let's quickly go across to our correspondent Siddhant Sibal, who's bringing in all the details. Siddhant, what is it that you're picking from the sources? This is indeed a big victory for the ED, the Bombay High Court, and of course the Antiguan authorities.
Well, it's a major development for India because the Prime Minister of Antigua has said, in fact, he is being quoted by a local newspaper, the Antigua Observer, that Mehul Choksi will be repatriated back to India, and he said that his citizenship will be revoked. Remember, last year he had taken the citizenship of Antigua, which means automatically he loses his passport to India. Basically, he said that his citizenship was processed and he got through, but the reality is that his citizenship will be revoked and he will be repatriated to India, and that is the recourse. And he said that the message behind this decision is that he does not want the world to believe that his country is a safe haven for criminals, especially criminals involved in financial crimes. He said that there will be a due process, and he said that he can assure that after all the legal options are exhausted by him, he will be extradited. Remember, this development coming in the backdrop of G20 summit, where India is expected to strongly raise the issue of economic offenders seeking refuge at various safe havens across the world, whether it's the Caribbean or other places. We also know that India's finance minister at the finance minister's meeting also raised the issue of economic offenders taking safe havens. And in fact, last year, I know at the sidelines of the UNGA, the then external affairs minister met the foreign minister of Antigua. So clearly, India's pressure is working when it comes to making sure that the economic offenders are sent back to India.
Right, as you rightly mentioned, this is indeed a big victory for India just on the sidelines of the G20 summit. Siddhant, you should also run us through how the news already tightened around Mehul Choksi yesterday when the Bombay High Court made certain observations. Do run our viewers through those.
Well, of course, we know that the case is going around in Bombay, and we know that what the court has said in Bombay, and clearly when it comes to his health ground, the court hasn't given any leeway and clearly said that that we are willing to send an air ambulance to bring him back. So it clearly shows that there is an intent, whether it comes to the highest political authority or the judiciary, to bring back Mehul Choksi, who is involved in this major scam, the PNB scam, which was another last year. And we know that India is also trying to get back Nirav Modi, who is in London. When it comes to Mehul Choksi, India sent extradition request through its High Commission to the country, and that extradition request is being processed. When it comes to Nirav Modi, we know the case has started in London, and Nirav Modi, we know he has been languishing in the jail, something which is unprecedented, because gone are those days when these economic offenders used to leave India and used to have a safe haven, whether it's in London or other safe havens like the Caribbean. But clearly we have seen India's push is working, and India is be able to bring back these economic offenders who have left India stealing with a lot of money.
Right. On a last note, Siddhant, Antigua and Barbuda's Foreign Minister and the Prime Minister both have said that Mehul Choksi can be repatriated once he's exhausted all his legal remedies. Does this repatriation now mean that there is no other option left for Mehul Choksi but to be extradited?
Well, it seems to be a done case, but as long as he's not brought back to the Indian territory, everyone will be waiting for the final word. But clearly the wording, if you look at the wording of the Prime Minister of Antigua, he has said that I can assure you that after he exhausts his legal options, he will be extradited. And the message he said that he wants to send that his country is not a safe haven for criminals, especially those involved in financial crimes. And lastly, the main crux of this news is that his citizenship will be revoked, and he will be repatriated back to India. This is the exact wording used by the Prime Minister of Antigua. Clearly positive news coming this morning for New Delhi.
Absolutely positive news coming in for New Delhi. Last but not the least, how could his extradition prove to be a major breakthrough when it comes to absconding fugitive businessmen like a Nirav Modi or a Vijay Mallya? Also, this could indeed prove to be a major victory for Indian authorities. Don't you think so, Siddhant?
Of course, when it comes to Vijay Mallya, basically Nirav Modi's case parallels the case of Vijay Mallya, and of course precedents are used in law. Clearly, this will be used as a precedent. The case of Vijay Mallya will be used as a precedent by our legal team. We know that India has hired its legal team whether it comes to UK or Antigua, and of course India is through its High Commission using all the legal recourses to make sure that even if it's a tough legal battle at the courts, whether it's in Antigua or it's in the UK, India is willing to do and go to any extent to make sure that whether it's Nirav Modi, whether it's Vijay Mallya, whether it's Mehul Choksi, they are brought back. We know also at political level the Indian Prime Minister has raised the issue, whether it's with the UK Prime Minister. We know on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Hamburg, the Indian Prime Minister had raised the issue of extradition of Vijay Mallya, because the British courts were saying that the condition of Indian jails aren't very good. These were the cases which were highlighted by the legal team of Vijay Mallya as well. But the Indian Prime Minister gave an example that these are the same jails where Mahatma Gandhi had been put in prison. So why make a difference when it comes to people who have fled the country with, of course, the wealth of the country?
Right. Also, Siddhant, it's important to talk about how Mehul Choksi has been using his health conditions as a bone of contentions, because let's not forget that the Bombay High Court yesterday sought reports from JJ Hospital to actually provide proof of his medical fitness.
That's the usual thing by any person who is, of course, in the back foot, or of course who has left the country. This has been health has been used as a ground by whether it's Vijay Mallya, whether it's Mehul Choksi, or whether it's Nirav Modi. These all people have used health ground as one of their technique to make sure that they don't go back to India. But it's not going to, it seems, taken by the courts or, of course, by the legal team, because they are going to provide evidence of they being fit and healthy. We know visuals coming from London of Nirav Modi with that ostrich jacket roaming around the streets of Delhi, of London. So clearly, Delhi is not going to buy that, and the final push will be to make sure that these people are brought back to India.
Absolutely. This is indeed a victorious moment for the Indian authorities, including the Indian government, where the Antiguan Prime Minister has already announced that Choksi will be repatriated to India. WION will continue to track all the latest. For now, Siddhant Sibal, thank you so much.